So I'm going to tell you guys a little story of how I tore my pec. This happened yesterday. Obviously, a little different version of me in a sling. I'm usually up running around feeling great. This video is to just kind of explain what happened. I'll show you guys what my pec looks like right now. And then if anyone else just got injured and you're online researching, trying to find out if you just tore your pec as well, you can use this video as reference. So yesterday, let me take a step back. So I've been trying to bulk up. I've been trying to hit 200 pounds of body weight and trying to put on muscle, really get stronger and focus on a combination of hypertrophy training and heavy weightlifting, of getting stronger. It's been going great. This has been about 6 weeks of bulking so far. I've put on over 15 pounds. My strength has just gone through the roof. I mean, basically every single lift, I'm lifting significantly heavier weights. On hack squat, for example, 315 is usually a heavy weight for me to do 5 to 8 reps with. I did over 500 pounds the other day, and it felt great for 5 to 8. Same thing with bench press. I've always kind of struggled with 315. That was kind of like my 1 rep, maybe 2 rep max for a long time. And then since bulking up and focusing on strength training, and I've been doing a lot of recovery work and stretching, I've been getting stronger. And 315 last week, I cranked it out for 5 reps, expecting to get one. So yesterday going in, I did a light warm up and then went into my working sets of barbell bench press. Started with 135, then 225, then up to 315. I did my first set of 5 completely unassisted. It felt great. I was like, you know what? I can do 3 or 4 more sets of 5 with 315. I felt strong. Luckily, I did have a spotter. I was going into my second set of bench press with 315. I'm on my third rep and I didn't struggle. It felt great. I was moving, but I just heard this crazy sound, and honestly, this sound has been haunting me over the past 24 hours. It sounded like this, pop, 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 like this crazy crackling and pop sound, and it felt like just the most intense cramp or Charlie horse in my pec that I've ever felt. But on top of that, I could physically feel like tissue and the cramping sensation start out wide and then go in closer. So obviously, I'm benching. By the time I hear that sound, my brain can even process what's happening. I know I should abandon the lift. I drop the weight on me. Luckily, I have a spotter. He's able to pull the weight off of me. I immediately get up and put my hand there. And I mean, this is all within a milliseconds. Not even a second has gone by. And I feel what feels like a tennis ball size knot right here in my pec. So not all the way out here, right here. I was hopeful that it was just a strain. So it's New Year's Eve weekend. There's nowhere for me to go get an MRI. So I'm going to have to wait until Tuesday to go to get an MRI to find out if it's just a minor tear or if I partially or even fully ruptured the pec. Now I'm going to show you guys right now what my pec looks like right now and why I think it's just a partial tear. And then I'll talk about what the potential rehab um, protocol is going to be. So bear with me as this is going to take me a minute. Yesterday, the pain was honestly pretty excruciating. I almost fainted a few times. I was really nauseous. Um, as long as my arm doesn't extend too far from my body, the pain is relatively subtle. Anytime I have to extend and stretch out that area, it gets a little painful. So I'll show you guys why I think it is a partial tear, partial rupture. So obviously, bulk is going well. Feel pretty juicy as a whole. So this is my normal side over here. Full range of motion. My pec connects all the way up into my armpit. And then when you see this side, you can probably tell if I go by from the sides here, you can see my pec. See it's a little swollen there. And then you can see from this side as well, my pec is pretty swollen here. No crazy bruising that I can tell. And this is going to be, so, I mean, that just feels like the most intense stretch. I'm trying to get it up there so you guys can see. And so here, okay, when I keep pressure on it, it actually does help. So if you have recently been injured, pressure is really, really helpful for that. And so basically, my pec is supposed to connect all the way up in here to the tendon, and it's basically stopping right here. So these are the two sides you can see compared to one another. So you can kind of see the difference here. There's a little bit of a dimple or a gap here. Last night it was much more, you could see it a lot better. Now that there's a lot more inflammation in the area, it's quite puffy. So I think as the inflammation goes down. So, I mean, I do actually have okay range of motion. It's very painful and very stiff. But, if you've ever seen videos, crazy videos online of someone who has fully ruptured their pec, right? It completely disconnects and balls down here. There's a lot of discoloration. There's a lot of crazy bruising and swelling and whatnot, and their pec is really drooped down. You can see side by side, there's not any of that crazy drooping. I don't really have any bruising or discoloration. I naturally don't bruise easily, so that is one thing to consider. But it seems to me, and I'm a trainer, but I'm certainly not a medical professional. The pec connects to that tendon in three major areas, kind of like the upper medial part of the pec, the pectoralis major, and then kind of it seems like the pectoralis major also comes down here in the lower part of the pec and connects. So it seems like maybe I just partially ruptured part of the pec that connects right here. And that's why I still have decent range of motion. It's not too severe. And I'm hoping that, so here's kind of what therapy is going to look like. Best case scenario, it is just a minor tear. I'd say there's probably a 1% chance that it goes back and connects. That would be some miraculous healing. I very much do not think that's going to happen. Best case scenario, there's a minor tear there. I maybe lost some function or strength in my pec, but with a little bit of rehab and a lot of rest and mobility training and strengthening of the area, I'll go back to pretty much full function. Maybe I should never bench 315 again is kind of the idea. At the same time, other than feeling strong, there's not a major benefits to doing heavy flat bench. So that might just be something I can never do again, which is okay. That is best case scenario. I don't have to have surgery. With just proper rehab training and physical therapy, I'm able to go back to pretty much normal. You guys can't probably see much of a difference between my pecs other than when I stretch it out more. Maybe the pec isn't as wide on this side, but that's not that big of a deal. And then worst case scenario still isn't too bad is that I have to have surgery and they reconstruct the pec, which again, I would still go back to pretty much back to where I was before. The doctor will probably recommend that I don't ever bench 315 again, but people do make full recoveries after having that reconstructive surgery. So as you can see, if I move slow and I don't extend my arm far out from my body, it's not too bad. I'll keep you guys posted. I wanted to make this video to, like I said, if there's anyone out there who this has just happened to them and you want to find out if this has happened to you, you can kind of see. Yesterday was incredibly painful, very difficult to find positions. Definitely get yourself in a sling as quickly as possible. Keeping it rested and not stretching or anything is the most helpful, and it relieves most of the pain. On another note, I've got some awesome sweatpants from TLF, some comfy swag that I'll be hanging out in until I'm recovered. Pretty much every day is leg day moving forward until, first of all, until I get a diagnosis. I'm not going to work out at all. I'm smarter than that. And I want to make a full recovery, and taking a few days off is definitely worth that. And then on top of that, even if I'm not going to push it, there's going to be comments, there's going to be people out there thinking, guys like me are going to go out there and push it. I'm going to listen to my doctors. I'm going to do the rehab that I need to do. And like I said, I've got some awesome TLF swag to rest in until I'm feeling better. Thank you guys for checking in on me. I'll keep you guys posted on the recovery. This is going to be a journey and a new experience for me, but I'll share with you guys every step of the way.